I'll be
Let's do that.
Hi folks, sorry about that. Yeah, I've switched on the stream. We were supposed to be on about 20 minutes ago, but we've just been discussing Warhammer for the past 20 minutes. So sorry about that.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah, Tom's not sorry, but you know, what are you gonna do? So yeah, when did we finish our last session? And this is a bonus session, by the way, so it is going to count in the number of sessions, but it's a bit of a bonus session for everyone. Because I realised when we were going through that we weren't going to get to session 20 or anything like that, and I wanted to end on an even number. So I'm not going to tell you what number that is. Could be 30, could be 40, but you know, this is an extra session to make sure that we get to that even number, because that'll be quite nice.
Okay.
So last session, you guys you did very well in Raid Me, didn't you? You went over to Keldanian and San joined the party.
We rescued whatever her name was, son of Cade.
Yes.
And Corfin.
Yes.
Daughter. Sorry.
We did.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say you guys have been back for a little while now. Actually, you've been back for about a week, and Saya has taken Besha into the hills around the well, basically around Saga. So if you see that, I know you haven't seen the map yet, Tom. So I'll show you the map of the region that we're in, because this is the map that I would imagine Hassan has emblazoned on his wall right now. So that's the map of the region, and you see Castle Wolfspire is at the bottom, which is where we are, and Saga is the main city in the region, main hub, and that is where Saya is. She's just taken her assassins, apart from Jura, to the hills there just to do some training, and Decimus is currently training his binding users in the courtyard. So yeah, that is the region. You've never been to this part of the world before, Tom?
No,
so
I have not.
It's unpleasantly hot. I mean,
like, even for Vanoskaar, it's like sweltering hot.
Yes, like Vanoskaar is not tropical. It's very nice. It's like Spain, basically northern Spain. Yeah. Whereas this is the Sahara, but with a bit of water, scattered around it and things like that. And you round the corner with the ship. We're not going to, this isn't part of the session, but when you round the corner, this is what you see. There was a storm lashing it at the time. But yeah, the 20,000 men from Raid Me had already arrived by the time you got there. So, Wolfspire is a hub of activity at the time. And I imagine you were rubbing your hands together with glee, as it's like 7 times the size of what was it called? Stormhold.
Yeah, well, I imagine, like, as we sailed up, I'm like, why did I come to Asunder? Like, this place is, like, the weather's terrible. Around the corner and just be like...
Yeah. So, what we're going to do first is that we're actually going to have Hassan, Tom, choose your room in the expanse.
No, not your room, no.
Yes. So this first floor here, we have a records room, and this is the first floor, so this is just ground floor. We have the merchant's office here. I'm not going to start clicking on it. The Ashen Sails are basically... I'm just going to give you the information that you would have accrued coming in. The Ashen Sails are basically the breadbasket of the troop. So they are a mercenary trading company. The records room there is, for ledgers and petty cash, things like that. Records of who's fighting for the Obsidian Wolves. The Wolfspire Trade Tower is a very poorly tasteful joke, as we did it one time, but it's basically where the traders all go to sit around and talk and discuss deals and things like that. And of course, there's the merchant's office there, which basically rubber stamps all of that. That's basically the financial corner of Wolfspire at the moment. On the right-hand side, we have the Knights of the Raven. So that's where an order of knights who have made their home, or part of an order of knights who made their home with the Obsidian Wolves, they reside there, or at least they're chamberlain resides there to pay them and make sure that they have everything they need. And other rooms are basically empty. This room's empty. Anywhere without word is empty. Sire's apprentices live a bit further up in rooms there. And Sire herself lives in a room just up there as well. Darthis has an antechamber here which he practices magic and teaches his students. That's locked at the moment, and you can see all sorts of strange lights emanating from it from time to time, and his room is adjoining it as well. This is sort of a stock room, so there's nothing really in there, just bits of weaponry and things like that. There is a huge statue of an obsidian wolf in the centre of the courtyard here, and around it people normally train in a training ground. That's the first half of the first floor, so then there's a lot more to go than this. So the second half of the first floor, just so you know, you can see what you want to do. So we have the Great Hall, we have the stables over here in the bottom of the map, with the armory and the tannery behind that. So all of the smelly, smeltery, shitty stuff all in the same place over there. We have wood and stone storage over here, so no foods over here, it's all kept separate. We have the pantry and the kitchens across in the Great Hall, and the Great Hall itself, which is lined with tables and pond tables and a main dais up here as well. We have barracks. Most of the men who fight for the Obsidian Wolves, they are now full. And when I say full, I mean full. And above here we have like a diplomatic meeting room where people come in and and talk and things. But the treasury, self-explanatory really. Something that Hassan might want to take note of. And
for no particular reason.
For no particular reason, of course. And the Binding Tower here, which is where a lot of the more elaborate experiments of Decimus take place, and where he trains his more talented students. That's the ground floor. Do you want to see the top floor or the upper floor?
Sure, go on.
Okay, so the top floor is here. So when it loads, there we go. That's the first floor, the upper floor. So you can see this is mainly empty at the moment. But the rooms here, most of them have been taken up now with officers and some higher ranking soldiers from the Raid Mirians, because there's that many of them. But a lot of them are also empty as well. So a lot of this room here is empty, and this room here is empty. This entire tower is empty. The tower up north on the other side, which I'll show you, is empty. Or should be empty. Yeah, it is, yeah. So the Binding Tower is still there, but this tower is empty completely. Decimus lives on this floor in a room on his own. There's quite a lonely existence up here, away from everyone else. And you can see there's like a balcony up here, so you can walk out and look down on the Great Hall. And there's a war room up there where strategy is discussed. The very top floor is the battlements, essentially. So you can see that you can come out onto the towers, you can see the battlements, and you can rain fire down on people. No one lives up here, but there are guards up there when you go and scout that out a little bit. And on the back of the battlements, there's obviously you can see the nice roof of the Great Hall there, and how everything fits in together. So you can see the murder holes here, where oil is poured out, and crossbowmen can flinch. Would you like to go down to the basement? Yeah. There are dungeons.
Hassan loves himself a good dungeon.
Yeah, there are dungeons, yes. The dungeons of Wolfspire. So this is down below the keep, and you can see this is a mining complex.
Okay.
Down here.
There's no mining going on here.
Yeah, there's no mining anymore.
No, there's nothing.
Just abductions. And there is another little complex down here. And you can see there are many cells, many, rat-infested cages around here to hang malcontents in. And there's another level to the dungeons, because this castle is strictly OP. And this is the other level to the dungeons. So there's just people around here as well. There is also, I'll tell you now because you would have heard, the tomb of Sarpedon is here. His body is here underneath the keep.
Right.
So yes, he is in here. But Darthis has sealed that off to anyone without express permission from him.
Okay.
to go in there. So
There are various guardians about.
there are various guardians about to
Tread carefully. I'm sure you could handle them, but just so you know.
I'm sure he could as well.
I'm sure.
So
Just for a second, like on that first level of the basement,
yeah,
there was a corridor going off to the left.
yes. Yes, there is a corridor going off to the left. That goes to the other part of the basement that I dragged you onto.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So yeah, it brings you out. I'll show you.
It brings you out over to there.
Over the top, yeah. Over the top of the...
That's like it's out here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
So, and bear in mind that there's no real restriction on space. If you that's how we do the campaign is if you can justify it to me, you can have it, basically.
Yeah, you see,
So,
Hassan is kind of contemplating just claiming an entire tower for himself.
yeah, I thought that might happen.
I'm expecting nothing less.
So, because I mean, the entire like coming in, like these entire towers on both sides are completely empty.
Mhm.
So,
Would you like the one at the front or the back?
I think I'd like the one at the back.
No, not next to the treasury.
Yeah. So then, and then I'll set myself up like so that I think the bottom floor would be like a sort of like a living room / sort of entrance room. So people come in through the bottom floor, and I think I'd have my chambers on the second floor.
Okay. Shall we call it the Tower of Whispers? Because it sounds like a...
Yes, we can call it. I feel like Hassan wouldn't come up with that himself because he doesn't bother with naming things.
Yeah.
But I feel like as he set up shop there, people might start calling it that, and he'd just be like, "Yeah, I will allow people to
I
call it
will
this."
cultivate the fear.
Yeah.
As any good spy master would.
God damn it, this is not going well.
You can't manufacture the fear. You have to let it. You have to let it grow on its own accord.
No,
you just have to plant the seed.
I have
Watch it
to earn
sprout.
the fear. That's what you do. Earn the fear. There we go. Tower of Whispers.
I'm not sure I'd parade around with the black hand though. I think I might keep that
Yeah, cool.
because I feel like having a black hand, literally blatantly having a black hand walking around is pretty obvious.
Yes.
So
And the Black Hand does enemies, as any superhero
yes,
has enemies.
exactly. So I imagine I'd keep it.
So
People don't stop.
we'll say that obviously you didn't bring much with you, and so you'd have to requisition some money. So the Tower of Whispers is pretty bare at the moment, but you have been able to get hold of some things because you're a Hassan, you are resourceful. So you do get hold of certain things like couches and things like that, and rugs and stuff. And you've got a bed and a simple desk upstairs on the second floor. But that's pretty much it. To get more stuff, you're going to have to either earn money yourself or go to the treasury and ask someone to give you some cash to go and get some nice upholstery and Valenthian bathing ladles and all sorts.
Yeah, I feel like he'll probably wait for that to accrue with time. I feel like he's trying to sort of get himself in the door here, so marching down to the treasury and being like, "Give me some money," it's not the best entrance strategy. So I think he might keep it low key and see what he can siphon. I mean, honorably earn.
Oh, I'm beginning to love this already. Good stuff.
Okay. So after a few days, Hassan, you're just sitting in your office, actually on the second floor. So we'll go to the office on the second floor, and you're actually moving around furniture, trying to get it just right, just ergonomically, or was it? Not aerodynamic. Ergonomically, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
All correct. Yeah, that your feng shui has to be just so. And so when Juro comes in, he knocks on the door. First of all, do you allow him to enter, or do you?
I'll wait a moment and then call for him to enter.
Okay. So when he opens the door, you're like just shifting around this desk. It's for the like a. I mean, you're not the strongest. So you're just like, just trying to get it around so it just lines up with your window on this side, just at your back.
Yeah.
So whenever somebody comes in, they're greeted with like the the light streaming behind you, so they can't really see your face. You're like, a figure of darkness. So, do you want him to help you, or?
I feel like Hassan wouldn't be the one to ask for help, so I think he'd just sort of like put down the let go of the desk. And it's like, Juro, isn't it?
He says, yes, that's me. He bows, and in a sweeping Valenrethian formal bow. And you can see from your perception score that this guy is a Valenrethian. You can tell that he's and he's a noble Valenrethian. That's one of old blood.
Well, I'll reciprocate the bow. Like, a fellow Valenrethian. It's been a long time.
He nods and says, I imagine it must have been, yes. You disappeared after the event at Ventio. What happened? We heard a lot about the instigator, the great ally of our legion in Ventio, but the legion was scattered, legion lost, and you disappeared. We thought you were dead.
Like, oh, I took up hobbying, and just sort of give a rueful smile.
He says, I see, and he just nods and says, in fact, there is the issue which I come to you with today. Actually, I've been recently taking up the duties of a spy master here, but I'm woefully ill-equipped to do so. I've made some progress, but I've yet to actually strike gold, as it were. I've been looking into a man called Cassius Varro, who has been taking aim at our leadership here. He has some sort of vested interest in their blood and the power that it holds. Much more than that I can't say, mainly because I don't know, and number two, I don't think I'd be permitted to. You're still new here. I'm sure you understand.
Of course.
He says, but forgive me, Hassan, but Master Ishtar, I'm out of my depth. I need an expert.
Well, it's a good job I'm here, isn't it?
He says, yes. There is a city to the east, along the coast, called Vanoskaar, inland, called Vanoskaar. And I'm afraid it's there that some of my agents have been going missing. I think you all know, and you do know out of character, that Vanoskaar is a city where Jochi is holed up, and that is the city where he is essentially ruling from. Jochi being one of the two claimants to the throne, the other one being Kassar, who's in the north, far into the north. And it's also the city of Gormal Creddock, who is... oops, no... There we go. Gormal Creddock, who is the self-appointed king of the city. So yeah, Gormal Creddock is the richest man in the region by a long, long way, and he's bankrolling Jochi's claim to the throne, essentially. And yeah, so Juro basically says, I sent men in there to inquire about what Jochi wanted from our leadership, but our agents have been going missing. They stopped reporting in weeks ago. I have yet to give a report to anyone because there's nothing to be said. They've just been going missing.
Do you suspect foul play?
It's unlike them not to report in, and for them all not to report in at the same time. I'm sure you agree that coincidences in life don't exist.
I'll sort of flash him a smile and be like, good. Not totally useless then.
he just like balks at that, but then just nods.
I sort of like, give him a rueful smile.
Yeah.
Sort of be like,
yeah.
It's like, so, you have no idea where they've gone? No trace? No evidence of their disappearance? No corpses?
He reaches inside of his tunic, enough to make you tense because you're so used to people trying to kill you, and he brings out a parchment, And he doesn't seem to have registered that you were tense there for a second and reaching on your desk for your crossbow. He walks over and like lays it down on your desk and flattens it out and says, "This is my last message from a woman called Lucia. She is one of my people in Vanoskaar. She thought she was being followed by people with a tattoo of a snake on their face. She kept seeing them around the marketplace, she says. And she kept seeing them closer and closer to her home. After that, everything stopped."
Well, it seems there's a player in Vanoskaar that doesn't want you snooping around. Have to investigate.
He says, "I was hoping you would agree. And this may be a good chance to, what's the word? Showcase your talents to our leaders, perhaps?"
Perhaps, indeed.
Cool. Darthus.
Hello.
Yes, you are in the war room at the moment.
Okay.
And yes, I'm not going to say anything else, but you are in the war room at the moment. So, yeah, Jorah says, "Should we adjourn to the war room? I can show you on the map more clearly where the city is, and we have ledgers of ships that can take us inland."
Yes, of course. I'm not as familiar with Asunder geography as I would like.
Cool. So, you guys walk in to the war room, and you see Darthus at the table with a woman, and her legs are like just sort of wrapped around his waist, and like all of the like pieces on the board like flung everywhere, and he just sees you, and yeah, you guys just carry on with the scene.
As I was like, Darthus, good to see you.
Not quite so good to see you at the moment, Hassan. But let me just tie myself up a little bit, and I'll disentangle myself from.
Hassan can't help but smirk at the current situation.
And the woman looks over at you, Hassan, and she goes, "You do realise that you look like a villain, right?"
Well, I mean, don't judge a book by its cover.
She says,
Your mother never told you that?
She just goes, "Uh-huh," and like she like gets her, just like slings her bra back on, sort of thing, and just like jumps off the table. And she kind of reminds you of because you had a fling with a pirate back in the day, so she kind of reminds you of that. She's got like the same carefree, way about her, pretty much.
Sound a little to remember that failed exploit.
Yeah. So yeah, she just like gives you a wary look and like walks from the room. And Darthus are there just straightening his tunic and
I do for you.
Well, actually, I'm here to look at the map.
Well, I'll help you rearrange it, but it might take a while. Is there any particular area that you were focusing on at all, or?
Yes,
and I'll
straighten
up the whole thing. So.
Cool.
I believe the city's called Vanoskaar.
Ah, Vanoskaar, yes. Not a very nice place, and not somewhere that we've really focused on that much here, but is there a particular reason why you want to go there? To Vanoskaar? It's far out the way.
I'll sort of turn to Juro, expectantly.
Juro relays the same information to you, Darthus.
Okay. I'll just nod and say, I see. Well, Cassius has been a pain in the arse recently, and to be honest, we'd forgotten about him for a while. Perhaps it's time to investigate this, to see what he's up to.
I just sort of look at Darthus like with a bit of a funny look. It's like, you forgot about him.
Well, he was a small fish in a big pond. You understand? We had other concerns. I mean, you came with us to our last concern. You know how that turned out.
I smile and say, I never forget my enemies, Darthus. It's a terrible mistake to do so. One you should learn.
Perhaps. But I am young. Perhaps foolish, but it lets me sleep a little better. So, what can you tell me about this place and what's been going on? What about these disappearances?
He just says, aside from what I've already told you, that's all the information I have. And Mistress Sire is disposed at the moment. Decimus has told me he's not to be disturbed for the next couple of days at least. You're the only people I can come to about this.
Well, I have to say, Joe, I'm a little disappointed that you don't know more. I mean, I don't know whether this is a reflection of your abilities or whether someone's very skilled on the other side. But either way, I think we should look into this a little more.
He says, yes, I agree.
Good, very well. Is there any reason to delay, Hassan? I mean, I need to get myself in order, but...
Well, I'll allow you the decency of getting best. I'll meet you outside in the training yard.
Very well, I'll meet you there. And I'll stalk out the war room, trying my best to redo my briefs up as I go.
Yeah. Asha stops you from going. She walks back into the room.
Okay.
And she says, "Did I hear you right? You're leaving again?"
Well, it's a busy life I lead, Asha.
She says, "And it'll be by boat, right?"
I suppose so. Yeah.
Say, well, I guess I'll just have to get the old tricorner out again. And she says, "I'll meet you downstairs." And she just pops on a tricorner and then just walks off.
I just turn to you, Hassan, and just roll my eyes and leave. So
Hassan is amused by this, and we'll head on down to the training yard and wait patiently.
So, yeah, I think we can go on to the map now.
Yeah, I'll get myself in order and then meet Hassan and we'll head off, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll bring my horse with me.
Is there anyone training in the yard, by the way?
Yes, there will be. There's lots of Vaidmerian soldiers going through their paces, and
I mean, I'm not asking for anything major. I'm just thinking, like, how good do these people seem to be? Like these soldiers that they've accrued.
they're not your caliber. They're not blowing smoke up your ass. Like they're not, because you've been basically fighting and staying alive for upwards of 25 years. So,
yeah, but by like linesman standards.
By linesman standards, they seem pretty good. They're not the Dross. This isn't the Dross. Like they seem like they all seem to know what they're doing. They're a bit predictable in their movements, but that's just infantry. You're looking at them, you're like, well, there's a feint that you could do there. You could switch your footwork. You could, the Valenrethians seem a lot more skilled, but there's far fewer of them. And they are knights, so these aren't line infantry, but they're not on horseback at the moment, so their training, they look very skilled. And so yeah, the whole, not everyone's training at the same time, because there's just not enough room, but yeah, it's a full complement of their training today.
But yeah, Hassan's just noting for sort of future reference, like what's the power level he's expecting from these guys, so...
Okay. It's a bit ominous, Tom. Just gonna put it out there.
Well, I mean, if he's gonna exercise his power, he's gonna need grunts to do it, right?
I guess so.
So, you are on the Crimson Wake, which is a brand new ship that's been made for Asher Ravenhair, and it is a crimson-bowed ship of willow bark, so really tough, pliant timber, and it is a quite a large ship. But she turns to you, Darth, as she goes up to the wheel and says, "You'll never believe how far this thing can go. Like I put in my pay from my last job, all into this baby." Which I pats the wheel. And said, "Not much of a crew though. Couldn't really afford it after I got the ship. It's a skeleton crew of 4, so you better hope we don't run into trouble."
So I'm sure we can handle ourselves. I'm just happy that you're buying yourself nice things,
Yeah, I'll sort of just walk up and pat Darth on the back and yes, I'm sure Darth can handle himself, and just sort of walk off.
She just says, "I have to. You don't buy me anything."
Well, I've got other affairs to tend to. I'm too busy to spend my money. You're welcome to spend mine if you like. I mean,
Really?
well, I've got no use for it.
So, awesome. You all have like a code for getting your money out of the treasury to give to the treasurer. So she's like, what's your code? I can start getting up upholstery in this thing.
Yeah, no problem. And I'll hand her the code over and just say, I'll just say to her, just don't share this with any of the others, okay?
Can Hassan try and get a sneaky glance?
You can. Ooh.
And try and do it stealthily.
You did say you walked off before when you tapped him on the shoulder, so I'm going to say you can, but you're going to need to roll 5 perception checks, and they're going to have to be bloody good ones. So
5d 100s.
5d 100s.
Still d100s, isn't it?
Yeah, still d100. Yeah.
That's
no, see, you do get a crit in there. Well, what's your perception?
Yes,
7, isn't it?
6, I think.
Yeah, so that doesn't pass, unfortunately. You get a few digits from it, but that's about it. You get like 3 digits from the 5-digit number.
My golden arms still aren't safe, Tom, so I wouldn't worry about it. It's going to be spent by someone else other than you.
Yeah, we'll see what she has next session.
Yeah.
You have minus in the red. So she pulls the ship around and comes in this general direction, and then over from there she comes in over here through the strait, and Hassan, you can see the actual city of Saga, which is the hub of the region.
Yeah,
it's quite a nice picture of it. It's there. Basically looks like old Constantinople.
Okay.
Like from back in the day, steaming dross, basically. So yes, we are coming back over here. There we are. And we're going into the Vysel Gulf. So we pass underneath a keep that is it's a huge basalt stone keep, and with a tower on each side of this gulf. This massive bridge passes between them. There's like big arcing bridge, and you can see the shadow of the binding running through it. So this is not a naturally built bridge. It sort of defies logic a little bit. But as you pass underneath it, you're sensing a lot of what's the word? A lot of history there. There's nothing to do with it. I just thought I'd expand on it a little bit. And you come through the Vysel veins before eventually finding your way down the thoroughfares and tiny rivers up towards Southron, and then up towards Vanoskaar as well. So the ship is there in Vanoskaar, up one of the tiny little rivers that connects Temen Sea to the Boiling Pass. So from there down to here. And yes, so Vanoskaar is there. It looks like a black obsidian coloured city and you can see amber fires raining throughout it, like just boiling and fizzing away inside of it.
See, I'll look out over the edge of the ship and just say to Sam, a beautiful view, isn't it? I haven't really travelled this far inward before.
I sort of, how does it compare to like the great cities of Valen Reef?
It's certainly impressive. It's not as big. The architecture is impressive, and you've never seen a black city before. But yeah, the architecture is very impressive. That's about it. But it's nothing on the Van Rieken cities. It wouldn't make you go, oh my god. You just go, oh, that's pretty. It's just, pretty.
I was sort of just looking and just go, I like the colour, I guess.
I was just thinking it was your colour, Hassan. I see. Well, perhaps we should head in. There's no reason to delay. I think the more time we delay, the more chance there is that these individuals go missing and be lost forever.
I sort of look at them and go, yes, those individuals who are not already dead.
Got to be an optimist, Hassan.
Juro is there, and he says, I have a contact by the name of Lynn. He works on the docks. We should be able to get into contact with him if we hang around here for a while.
Very well. Do you know what this Lynn looks like?
He says only that he's got an eye patch. So that should make him stand out.
Yeah, definitely. Eye patch on a dock. That's good thinking, Juro. I'm glad we brought you along.
He says, "Hey, I'm trying my best. Okay, I'm sorry."
I know. I'm just jesting with you. We'll wait around here and see if we can see him.
Okay. So, after a while, Hassan, roll a perception check with a -30 because you know what you're looking for. Ooh, yes. So, you can see him walking towards you with a downcast look. You see Lynn walking towards you.
I'll sort of get up and be like, and sort of just act as if I'm walking into the crowd, and then bump into him.
Okay.
Past him, like, oh, terribly sorry, my friend.
He says, yes. He leans in and says, meet me at the docks at dusk. Warehouse 672. And he walks up. No, he looks and goes, I'm sorry, my friend. Yes, I wasn't looking at where I was going.
Okay, then I'll sort of nod my head and sort of walk off, as if I'm like carrying on, then sort of double back and walk back to sit down at the table.
Okay.
I'll probably do like a loop of the building, or like as much as short of loop as possible, and then sit back down.
Yeah, and Juro and Darthus are sitting there at the table on the dock, and you can see Asha Ravenhair's still on the ship, but she's like leaning on the rail of the ship, looking down over you guys, and she's got like a puzzled look on her face about what you just saw.
I'll sit back down. I'll just say, warehouse 672. Dawn at dusk.
And Juro goes, How did you do that? Darthus, did you see that?
I don't see very much, Juro, to be honest, so there's no point asking me. You got the information.
Did you bring your ridiculous magical sword?
No, I didn't bring Daybringer, no. I didn't bring Daybringer with me.
Cool. So you just brought a normal sword then, instead of normal.
I brought my axe along.
Axe along. Okay. So he says, you know so much, Hassan. I'm very impressed.
I'll sort of like, it's not usually often that Hassan gets complimented on his work, because no one usually knows of his work. So he'll sort of like give an appreciative smile and be like, well, I could teach you a lot of things, my friend. Trust me. There's a certain art to this business.
There is. Well, Mr. Sire is a fantastic killer and a better teacher, but Guile is. She freely admits Guile is not her strongest suit.
Greatest weapon. Yeah.
Or weapon, yes. So.
I just sort of smile and just go, you'd be surprised how many people I've killed with Guile. With that hanging there.
Yeah, he doesn't respond to that. He's like, no shit, basically, like, doesn't want to press the subject. So later on, let's move you along to, it's time to go to the warehouse that evening. If you want to go, you can get right back on your ship, go home if you want, it's up to you. It's all open-ended.
I'll sort of rouse the others when the time comes to head down.
Okay. So you come to a warehouse. It's an average-looking warehouse. There are no lights burning inside, so it's quite it's quite ominous in there. But one of the doors is left a little bit ajar.
I'm just gonna turn to Hassan and say, this isn't really my strong suit, Hassan. What's the play here? What are you thinking?
I still go, well, I say we scope the place out, see who's there. If our friend is there, then great. We go see him.
I see.
Wow. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, very well. Well, that does sound more like my style than we traditionally go for. So I'm happy with that, and let's scope out the place, and I'll wander over to the door and sort of open it gingerly. With
Hassan just shakes his head in disappointment, like as he just blatantly walks through the front door, and I just sort of turn to Duro and be like, "So, I was thinking more climb up onto the roof and see if we can see in there, but walking through the front door that works as well."
Well,
he just shrugged and goes, "Kaldanians."
I'll say, yeah, this is all under our breath, so
yeah.
So Darthus can't hear
no,
us.
No, fine. I probably would.
Yeah,
anyway, to be honest. So
as Darthus sort of like pokes his head round the door, I'll be like, "Well, I mean, at least if he dies, we know there's something foul afoot."
He says, "Oh, you'd be surprised. I've seen Darthus shrug off more than a simple arrow to the head."
I'll nod appreciably and await the result.
Okay.
So, Darthus, you see pretty much nothing at the moment. It's dark in there. And you then hear a voice saying, if you're looking for subterfuge, sticking your head inside of a secret meeting place probably isn't the best way to go about it. But come on in. I saw you at the docks today.
I literally can't see this person, so I'm just like thinking, what is that? For a second, I literally think, what is this disembodied voice that's speaking to me? And then I realise that we're here to meet someone and that we're trying to be secretive about things. And I'll sort of move into forward, I guess, into what I think is the middle of the room. Whether I collide with something in the meantime is a different thing.
You don't so much collide with it, but you do you stump your foot on a crate that's just lying around. And so outside you guys hear like oh sort of everything.
Like bastard. And then carry on. Sort of stay where I am for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The voice comes closer and says, is it just you? Or are the other two with you?
Well, they were with me, but they're much better at this whole subterfuge thing than me, so they may already be here. I don't know. And I'll just sort of whisper out to them, Hassan, are you there?
I'll just walk in through the front door and just be like, amateurs, and then walk up to Lynn and be like, so you have something for us?
He says, I do. That's information. Your people, they were killed by someone loosely connected to Gormal Creddock. But nothing happens in the city without Creddock knowing. Least of all, agents from the Obsidian Wolves coming into his midst. Obsidian Wolves who have all but openly declared for the rival of his patron or his charge. And the lights come on in the guttering lights come on in the warehouse, and there's people out there just like with arrows pointed down at you from bows, about 5 or 6 of them. And he says, I'm sorry, Juro, but you should choose your agents better. He just backs away into the or tries to back away anyway, but you guys can react or say something if you want.
I will just smile, look at Lynn and say, there are better men who have tried to kill me. None of them have outlived me, though. Bomb from my belt and just say, Hassan, vanish! Before throwing it onto the ground.
Okay,
No.
Cool. Are you just going to vanish, or are you going to make the others vanish as well?
Well, it's a 20-foot bubble around my position,
Yeah.
so I imagine they will be enveloped in the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, are you pulling them to the door? Because you know how to get out of these situations.
Yeah, so I'll just grab like both of them by the collar and just like drag them to the door.
Okay. There are like arrows flying now, but they're going wild. They're going way over the place, and you get pulled to the outside, and they're like coughing, like they stumble out coughing, and you just like stride out, just like they're not even and you don't run, and you just walk. And Juro's going, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And it's like coughing along.
There's no time for this now. We've got to get out of here.
Okay.
No doubt they have more men in the perimeter trying to hunt us down if we somehow survived.
Okay. You can sort of hear shouting and people running out of the back of the warehouse, and bells are ringing.
We've got to run now. Quick, quiet,
Great.
let's go. And I'll sort of dart towards the nearest sort of alleyway.
Okay.
I'll follow as well.
Darth is following you, okay. And Juro will follow you too. So yeah, you go sneaking through the alleyways of Vanoskaar. You come to a junction of, it's like a crossroads, like a cross, but you're still in alleyways. So which way would you like to go?
So which the warehouse is behind us?
Yes, it's behind you.
I'll take a right.
Cool. On the right, you can smell the telltale smells of a tannery, like piss and shit and heat and flies around the place. But you see a few open windows and shadows within, and you see the street carries on down onto like a main boulevard down the other end of the street.
Okay, it's not particularly busy this time of night, eh?
No, it's very quiet.
Okay, so I'll sort of like dart in through one of the windows.
Okay. You land in a cesspit. So your shoes go into like a load of shit and piss. And you they need to roll a physical resistance check to not throw up. So check against your vitality. That's you're fine. So you just like hold your breath because you realise what it is straight away. But you're just like, oh, like you're looking down at your shoes as you clamber out of the cesspit. Darth, what are you gonna do? You're still on the street. You're not where he is at the moment. You've seen him dive into a window.
I'll try and follow, but probably less graciously. So let's just roll dice.
No?
Okay.
You like somersault down there and land deftly in the shit. But you need to do a physical resistance check to not throw up. Yeah, you throw up all over yourself.
Yeah.
You land and you can't believe you were so graceful. You go, yeah!
I'm still feeling a bit queasy from the hip as well. I'm not very good with the whole like sea travel thing, so it probably hasn't helped. Just everywhere. So
yeah. So you like stagger over the wooden part of the railing, just separating the cesspool from everywhere else, and yes, you just clang onto the floor. Just as Hassan's like sneaking out, and you see Hassan just turn around and give you like a fucking evil glare. And Juro will come in as well. What's he gonna do? Yeah, he's gonna be fine. He's got a stronger stomach. So he just lands in and like steps over you, Darthus, and he leans down and says, "Are you okay, Darthus? You don't need a hand?"
No, I'm fine, my friend. I'm fine. I've been through worse. I would have no honor if I couldn't pick myself up again from these things. And I'll kind of slowly pick myself off the floor out of my own vomit and stuff, and follow up.
An older Asunder man in a night robe and a candle in his hand like staggers out of a back room and goes, "Hey! Who are you?"
I'll just quickly just run up to him, drawing my knife and put it to his throat and say another word and I'll cut you.
You're getting like a, he's like, no, understand.
I'm like, I just put my finger to my lips, just give him a stern look.
Oh, he says, oh yeah.
Sort of like, is there like a sort of a door out?
No,
as in not to him. Like I'm looking around the room.
Yeah, you can't see one. No.
So where did he come from?
Yeah, he came from a doorway, but you don't know if that's a doorway out. I thought you meant is there a doorway leading straight out? You can't see one. No. There's a doorway.
Okay. Out through that doorway that he came through.
Yeah.
So see where that leads.
Okay, so you're just gonna take him with you, or you're gonna just have him stand there?
No, I'm just gonna have him sit down there.
Okay, so he sits down, and you walk into the other room, and there's a woman in a bed, and she goes, "Oh!" And pulls her clothes over, pulls like her covers over, and says, "She's elderly, you know." Goes, "Oh you!" So she's just like getting hysterical, and you can hear like the woman, the fella like lean his head in, and he just swears at her in Asunder. Like, "Oh, shut the fuck up, stupid woman!" And just like sort of thing, and she keeps shouting, "Oh you! Oh!" Sort of thing.
I just shake my head and just sort of look for an escape route.
Okay. You can see there is a door that is barred to the street in the kitchen area in the other room, in the next room across.
Okay, so I'll sort of head out through sort of the barred doorway and head out onto the street.
Okay, so you just unbar the door and you open it, and it's blessedly the fresh air wafts in. Darthus, are you following?
I am.
Okay.
I'm a bit distressed by the distressed woman, but yes,
Yeah.
I'm following.
So you guys head out, and at the end of the street, you see like there is basically it looks like a lynch mob, but they're all wearing armor and they all have lanterns on the end of poles, and they're all running around. And then you see you at the end of the street and go, "Oh!" And then they just like come running down the street, just towards you.
I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I'll just sort of pelt it, sort of. Actually, yeah, I'll sort of go back into the house, bar the door, and then just sort of like go, "Nope, not that way," and then move sort of back into sort of the tannery area. And is there any other windows other than through the cesspit?
You walk back through the you walk back through the living room, the bedroom again. She's like, "Ah, who are you? Who are you?" And sort of thing, and you see like the fellas leaning out, going, "Will you shut the fuck up?" And as you walk past her, so she like starts like whacking you, Hassan, with a fly swatter. Like, get out! That sort of thing.
I'm gonna grab the fly swatter off her and just be like, please, just calm yourself down. We're in a spot of trouble, okay? And we won't invade on you anymore, okay?
You're in no trouble. You're in my house.
Hassan's already moved past this and is heading for the window.
Okay.
Are there any other windows other than through the cesspit?
Yes. If you walk into the room that you entered in with the cesspit in it, on the right hand side there is a vent window at the top, but you'd have to climb to reach it.
Reach that rather than try to go through the cesspit again.
Cool. So roll a quickness check, a speed check for me. Just to get up there. And there you go. Yeah, you basically you knock it open, and then you walk backwards, and then you run up to it, and you dive through it. You don't jump up into the air like Superman and dive straight through it, and then roll onto the street above you. And Darthus, you like you take the fly swatter off this woman. You're like, "No, stop!" And then you hear like bashing at the door. And the woman's like, "Look what you do now! Look what you do now!" And she's like whacking you with her hands now. And
I'm sorry, okay? I'll just give her back the fly swatter.
I'll just shout back through him like, "Come on, get up here!"
I'm sorry, please. And I'm just gonna try and desperately climb up to this ledge at the top.
So I'll sort of help him climb.
I'm speed 3. It's not going.
Have a minus 30 to that. So you're still going to be there. So you're going to take a long time to go out. The door finally gives away, and so you're both out, but Juro's still there, and he's jumping up to reach you. Let's see if he can reach you.
I'll put a hand down to him.
He's fine. Yeah. He clambers through just in time as an arrow just thuds into the window ledge where he was. And which way do you guys want to run? There's a straight road up, and there's a road back to the docks to the left. And to the right, there is a road that heads further into the city, into like a miasma of streets.
Maybe we should head right, Hassan. Lose them in the chaos.
Sorry, I missed the first half of that, Dean.
Oh, what was that? The road straight ahead from what you're looking at leads to a sort of a marketplace, like an open area. The road to the left leads
Right.
back to. It's not really docks. I said docks, but it's not really docks. It's like a small shipping part where small ships from the river come in. And to the right there is a street to lead to like a miasma of buildings.
I'll also say, you're right, Darthus. Let's head right. Let's go. I just start pelting it down the street.
I'll pelt after him.
Cool. After a while, you lose your pursuers in the streets, and you guys can calm down a little bit and take stock.
Well, that was an eventful first encounter in the city, wasn't it?
Right. Yes. Unfortunately, we didn't really learn a whole bunch. I'll sort of. Do I recall seeing any of the sort of men who were after us, or in the warehouse, bearing a snake tattoo?
Yes, you do. They all had the snake tattoo.
At least we know who our enemy is. Noticed the snake tattoos?
I did. They were. Yes, very clear. Perhaps we should find a lawmaster or someone who is knowledgeable of the area and see whether they can help us. I don't know much of Vanoskaar and its inhabitants.
I'll sort of look around and be like, perhaps, though they might be expecting us to visit such people. Might be worth visiting the market during the day and see what hearsay we can pick up. You're surprised what gossip can get you.
I see. Not a bad plan. And it would be nice to have time to take stock and collect ourselves. So yes, if we can find somewhere nice to stay and lay low, then yes, I think that's a good idea.
I sort of look at him and like, you're seriously expecting us to check into a tavern, are you?
Well, yes, I need a bed to sleep on, son.
I'll just sort of give him a smile, and I'll sort of turn to Jiro and be like, "Yeah, we're sleeping rough tonight."
He says, "It wouldn't be the first time."
So I'll sort of say, "We'll head to the rooftops, find somewhere to sleep there. The Asunder climate, you shouldn't have to worry about the rain,
I see. Well,
at the very least."
Does it rain? Let's see.
Saying that now, it like absolutely chucks it down.
Oh yeah, it's fucking pissing down.
who are you?
Yeah. So, Darthus, do you want to roll some speed rolls just to climb up because you're wearing armor?
Yep.
So.
Yep. How many would you like?
Just 5 will do.
It's not bad.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you just get up there. You get up there, but it is pissing down. The rain's already starting by the time you get up there, and you just give Hassan this like filthy look, with just like, what the fuck? You literally just said 5 minutes ago that it wasn't going to be raining.
Yeah, not pleased, but I'm going to take the opportunity to have a shower of some description while we're up there. Just take advantage of the rain. So. Yeah.
Okay.
I just shake my head and try and find an alcove to sleep in.
Mm-hmm. So after a miserable night, you guys head down to the street level, and yeah, there are a lot more crowds around as you head towards the marketplace. In fact, when you get there, it's bustling, and there are Asunder troops everywhere, but none of them are really looking in your direction. So yeah, what
Hassan's keeping a beady eye out for snake tattoos.
Yeah,
at the moment.
You do see 1 or 2, but they don't seem to give you any, like an even glance at you.
Right, so whenever I see a guy with a snake tattoo, I'll sort of just try and blend in with the crowd, like as much as possible. So I'll sort of find the nearest gaggle of people and just sort of walk with them, so that they sort of have less chance of spotting me. But I'll also sort of walk around the market. I might like just walk around the stalls, maybe buy like a few choice items. Nothing like expensive, but like a piece of fruit here, and just make it look like I'm just browsing like an old person. But I'll sort of be asking about and like what the sort of laws like here, and then I might sort of bring up the fact that I've seen some people around with snake tattoos, and like I'd say, oh, is that some sort of like sailors guilds, or
okay,
and see what the reaction is.
So you head to a fruit vendor, and he says, these snake tattoos, yes, they are, well, they are men who are sworn to the service of Gormal Creddock. They are his eyes and ears in the city, you see. They form part of his political party. And they are wailed behind Jochi, the Emperor of the Brimstone Empire. So, yes, they're here to keep everyone safe. They tend to promote this new faith in the city. Faith in the Void King, that's him. You seem like a merchant to me, so you can have no tax for your goods if you convert to their religion. I recently did, although I'm not really a believer myself. But he keeps that really low in his voice. No one can hear him. But,
yeah, I'll sort of give him like a sort of a knowing nod.
Hmm.
And I'll say, thank you, my friend. And I'll buy maybe an apple off of his stall.
Cool. Yeah.
And one for the road.
Yeah. He says, you seem like, where are you from?
I'm from Valenreath.
Yes. Oh, we don't see many Imperial Adidas here. And he just says, well, enjoy your time in Asunder. And he bows.
I'll sort of give him a nod of the head and sort of walk back to the other two.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who I assume are blending in.
Most definitely, yeah. Yeah, blending in without any trouble at all. And, not bumping into people or, haggling kind of loudly with various stall vendors at all. No, nothing like that.
You see Jorah leaning against the post, I'm totally inconspicuous. It's fine. That kind of look on his face. Trying too hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I just walk up to the sort of duo. Would you stop leaning against that bloody post? I'm sorry. Leans. It's no one leans against a post in the market. Everyone always has somewhere to go. You got to keep moving.
Okay.
Market is about movement.
Okay.
I'll sort of give him a pat on the shoulder and be like, "See, you're learning things already."
Yeah.
So give him a smile.
He says, "I think I'll go and check out that meat vendor over there," and he just walks straight over to it and starts talking to the guy.
So I'll sort of into myself and sort of just go through sort of a similar thing that I did with the last guy, and just sort of make small talk, and then maybe bring up the snake tattoos again.
And you get much of the same information. Apart from you hear he tells you, he's a butcher, and he tells you, hey, if you're looking for work, you should come back here at sundown. Snake Guild's always looking for new members, new meat. You seem like you guys can handle yourself.
That might be worthwhile. Yes, I can certainly handle myself. I mean, I can't exactly say I'm that good, but I've sort of sorted around. So I'll say, where's this meat?
He says it's in the Merchants Guild. He said it's just round the corner, just over there, and then first door on your left. Should be a big red house. You should be able to see it.
Excellent. Thank you. I'll definitely check it out. And I'll sort of turn away and walk off, as not as taking any sort of at all.
So once you get back, Duro is there, and he walks back with some meat in his hands, and he's just munching on it.
He bought something. It's always good to blend in by buying things.
He says, oh yeah, sure, blend in. Yeah. And he just eats the hot dog, and he's just munching on it.
I sort of say, I assume you heard.
Heard what?
I just look at him with just for a moment, just with a blank look. The discussion.
Oh, yes.
You have no idea what was said, do you?
Yes.
I'm
yes.
So, what do you think of the information?
Apparently, he has the greatest hot dogs in all Asunder. And I have to say, I have no evidence to the contrary. They are very good.
Alright. Where's Darthus? I'll sort of look around.
Where is Darthus?
I've wandered over to the smithing quarter at the moment, so I'm just sort of wandering around the various smiths that are around, and I'm talking about getting some of my mail re-ringed, sort of frayed at the bottom, and as I'm doing that, I'm going to drop in various bits, like ask them about that I've heard that there have been various disappearances and things. I was looking at settling in the area, but I've heard about these disappearances that have been going on, and I'm having second thoughts.
He's like, as he's hammering out for a bit of steel, he's like, disappearances? Really? And he starts, keeps doing it. It was the first I've heard of it.
No, that's all I've heard about since I've been here. Some strange disappearances in the night. I mean, nothing's been heard of them.
He says,
I don't know.
He says, well, some people are talking where they shouldn't be. And as he turns towards you, you see like he's got like a snake tattoo on his forehead, to the left-hand side.
Oh, I see. Well, it's good to know that it's not quite as prevalent as other people have been saying then. I mean, I think I might settle here after all.
He says,
thank you.
And gives you like a quizzical, suspicious glare.
Okay, well, you have a good day now. I've got to go and meet my friends, but thank you. It's been very, very useful.
Says, you too. And then he goes back to what he was doing.
Good. And I'll head back over to the middle of the market.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably looking around for Hassan and Jero, but
yeah, they're just heading back from where they were.
Did you say something, Dean?
Yeah, I just said you guys are just heading back from your interaction, so you see Darthus walking back from his.
I'll sort of walk over to Darthus. Like, so, dare I ask, did you gain anything useful?
Ah, my friend, did I got some information. It feels great. I don't know what's so difficult about this espionage thing that you all bang on about. It's easy. Just wander in, have a nice normal conversation, and then leave. Get your information and leave. It's great.
Yeah? What did you learn?
I learned that Vanoskaar is very nice this time of year, and there are some very proficient smiths in this particular quarter of the market square, and that a particular man with a snake tattoo on his forehead did not know anything about any disappearances. So,
right. Well, I'll sort of walk off to sort of the side and sort of stand sort of with my back to a wall, and so that we're just having a natural conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, while you two were, and I'll sort of look at Juro and be like, otherwise engaged, I managed to learn something useful. I'll sort of nod my head sort of to the back of the market to the right, to that street where the eye was indicated to. Like, there's a house down that street, red bricks. Apparently, you can't miss it. It's where the snake-tattooed individuals who are agents of Jerok, they meet there, apparently. I'm thinking maybe we go pay it a visit at some stage. Of course.
I see. That's not a bad plan. Do you suggest enrolling in such a recruitment process? Perhaps getting ourselves on the inside?
No doubt they all know exactly what we look like and who to expect. So no, we'll be dead the moment we walk in the door. No, I'm a more subtle approach. Sneak our way in without being seen. Have a thrift through some of the documents and see what we can find.
I see. Well, subtle isn't my normal approach, but I'm willing to try new things.
So let's wait for dusk and see what we can find out then.
Yes. So I'll sort of walk out of the market and head back towards just the city.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're walking back, you hear town cries extolling the virtues of Yoshi, who is the main man in this part of the world, essentially, and they're basically talking about how he is true ruler of the empire, and how he's going to cast Kasara aside and lead Asunder into a new golden age, and all that sort of stuff. And eventually, Juro is yanked aside from you in the road, and Hassan, you see this.
Okay, so do I see who grabs him?
Yes, a young woman.
I turn to look and go, "Oh, what's going on here?"
He says, Juro turns around and goes, wait, it's Lucia. It's Lucia.
Oh. I'll sort of head into sort of over to where they've been pulled into.
Mm-hmm. I'll head over too.
She says, what are you doing? Walking around the marketplace, talking to members of Gormal Credoc's own state? What are you doing?
I just turn to Darthus and go, "Yeah, what were you doing?"
I was finding out important information that we need for our mission here, which involves you. I might like to add.
She says,
point to Lucy.
Yeah, she says, look, I had to go to ground, okay? He killed everyone else. Gormal Credoc, he's not a man to be trifled with, okay? He's the real power behind Jochi. Look, the head of his intelligence network, he's not a very good man, to say the least.
Do you have a name?
I don't. All I can tell you is that it's called. It's just a terrible name. The Red Serpent of Vanoskaar.
I just sort of look and go, "The Red Serpent of Vanoskaar."
Yes, he hangs out at the sauna of an evening. He'll be there tonight. I was heading there to kill him myself until I saw that there was a disturbance in the docks last night, and well, here you are.
And I turn to the others and go, "Well, looks like we might have a change of plans, gentlemen."
Churro just goes, wait, we were going to kill him?
I sort of turn to her and go, I'm thinking of that. Yes. I mean, if this guy's the head of the intelligence agency, as you say, removing him will certainly remove an obstacle for us.
Churro just says, I'm okay with killing him. It's what I've been trained for. That and finding information.
I turn to Juro and finding information.
He says, well, we're here, aren't we? I found this information.
But I'm thinking, how good is your espionage? How good is your stealth?
He said, I'm more capable of hiding in plain sight. As in, talking to people.
But not a stealthing into building sort of person.
Not particularly, no. Saya calls me the poisoner. I kill whilst looking you directly in the eye and smiling at you.
Well, we're not entirely sure if our faces. If he's a man worth his salt, as you say, and I'll sort of point to whatever her name was, as I say, then he will know what we look like, so that may be difficult.
He says, how? I suppose. But I'm willing to try, Hassan.
Well, I can certainly give you support if you do try.
So, I can walk in through the front, try and I can come into the bathhouse, try and finger our target, and then there should be vents. Yes, vents in the upper part of the sauna. The air has to go somewhere. Perhaps you can get a shot from one of the vents. And if anything goes wrong, he slaps Darth's plate with a metallic clang. We can, do it the old-fashioned way.
Yes, bringing in the cavalry, as it were. Well, Darthus, no. What do you think?
Well, I do like doing things the old-fashioned way, but your way does sound more productive. Well, my only thought is that perhaps we could glean some useful information from this man. Or
Yes,
this person.
I'll sort of
Before
turn
we
to
dispatch
Duro
them.
and be like, yes, we could certainly make an attempt. Maybe try and small talk him. See what we can glean. I doubt we'll get much, but...
Okay. He says, perhaps Darthur should come with me, and then at least if anything happens, he's there to defend me.
I still go, yes. Though he may have to dress less obviously.
Why? I'm a simple spice merchant from Valenreath, and this is my loyal bodyguard.
But most people don't walk into bathhouses in full plate armor.
Perhaps they do
Perhaps
from here to conclude a very large business deal. But I'll take your effort under consideration. Yes. Perhaps
so a leather jerkin, something more befitting of a humble mercenary bodyguard.
Lucia looks at you, Darth, and says, I can carry your armor if you wish.
As long as we can store it somewhere, I'm happy.
Well, I'd like to get out of here, so I'm going to go back to your ship.
I see. I was just about to suggest the ship, so very well. You could take my armor for me and guard it with your life. I would greatly appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah, she does so.
Good. Right. I'll work on sourcing some other clothes then. So.
Yeah. We can just say that happens. You don't need to roleplay that. It's fine.
I can't imagine we go back to the same market, maybe a different market.
I'll find something else. There's probably a...
I mean, she gives you the coordinates, the rough directions to the bathhouse, but you can see it even from where you are. It's like a 4-story building.
It's going to be a pretty impressive building.
Yeah, it has steam rising up from it and things like that. So, should we skip forward to when you get there overnight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Darthus and Duro, you are walking up to the front entrance of this thing. It's got very large wooden pillars and a large trellis staircase coming up. And Hassan, you've split off from them, and a few blocks ago, and you've climbed up onto the rooftops, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And are springing across them. Twilight. So there are no guards on the door, and people simply nod to you and Darthus as you go in. I say you and Darthus, I'm actually playing Duro, but hey. So Duro heads in there, and he exchanges words with the main guard on the door. And Darthus, you just get the fact that he's there giving you're basically his bodyguard, and they accept that and just wave you in. Don't really that bothered. And you head in, and after a while, you are sweating profusely in your armor. But he finally turns around to you in his towel and says, "That's him over there, I think. He's wearing crimson robes." And you see, you look over there, and there's a man with a top knot, typical Asunder, but he's got his feet and his legs in this steaming water, surrounded by other men, and he's talking to them, and he's having people come over to him, whisper in his ear, and he says, and he's just nodding sagely, and then turning to somebody else, and you can see above him there are several venting ways, gaps in the ceiling where the air is coming out, and you just see a shadow just pass one of them as you do that.
I see.
I'll turn to Juro very quickly and whisper to him, Isn't his attire a little bit obvious for the head of an intelligence agency? Wouldn't you want to be more subtle?
He says, perhaps he doesn't fear anyone. Here.
Perhaps. And that's almost more dangerous.
We have to be careful.
We do, I agree.
So
I think you should do the talking. I think it's not appropriate for a mercenary to speak in this sort of environment. But if you need any help, I'll be here.
He says, right, okay. Yes, merchant's face. And then he walks over there and he introduces himself to his guard, who eventually waves him through. And he walks over there and he says, Leng, and he bows, and the guy looks up. The Crimson guy looks up, and he says, "I've heard much about you, and I thought if I had to do any business in the city, you're the man I need to speak to, and you're the man whose palms I need to grease." And where do you want to be standing?
I'm gonna stand just off Jura's right shoulder, but facing away from him, as though I'm looking out into the rest of the bathhouse for enemies.
Yeah.
So he doesn't see my face.
He says, "This is my faithful bodyguard, Lucius." And he sits down in the water and says, "So, how much does a bushel of grain go for in Vanoskaar these days?" And they get talking about different bits of they get talking about different bits of trade and things like that. And you can see that he's holding his own. Hassan, you're up there and you can see what's going on. You have to decide how to act, though. What do you want to do?
I'll just sit and wait patiently.
Okay. Eventually, the conversation does start trailing off, and Juro starts running out of steam. You can hear that, Darthus. He's starting to stutter a little bit as he keeps retracing the same steps over and over again. And when you turn around slightly just to see what's going on, you can see that Leng is getting very suspicious.
I see. I'll just I'll bend down to him and whisper in his ear and say, sort of a loud whisper, so Leng could hear, but he's meant to be. And just say, "My lord, I think we should head to that meeting now. Do you remember?"
He says, "Yes. Thank you, Lucius." He says, "I will see you soon, Leng. I'll be sure to make the payment swiftly." And he stands up and bows and stands out of the water. And he looks up and says, as you walk him in, he goes, "Where the fuck is Ishtar?"
He's here. Don't worry. I've seen him. I think he's just biding his time.
For what?
Perhaps we should leave him alone so that he can gather some intelligence without us steering the conversation. Perhaps.
He says, Fine. Just I'm standing here in the bathrobe. I'm just self-conscious. My body is it's podgy.
There's no need for you to be self-conscious now. You've had a perfectly relaxing time, and this really isn't the time for it, Jura.
That's all right for you. You're a mountain of muscle. He just turns around and he's just like, "I don't like it here, Darthus. We need to go."
Let us leave, my friend. Let us leave. And I won't look up to where Hassan is, but I'll sort of turn in the general direction and just turn the pommel of my axe, so my axe blade goes up a little bit, so as though just to acknowledge that he's there, and then leave.
Cool. Hassan, are you impressed by Darthus's? You noticed that. Yeah, you noticed that he noticed you straight away when you arrived. So as you and Juro go to leave Darthus, a few guys in towels stand in front of you with folded arms and block your way. And Juro's like, "Gentlemen, we're just making our way out." And they just shake their head. And
what can we do for you, my friends?
You hear Leng behind you get out the water, and he's like, "I only asked this once. Who the fuck are you? And what are you doing in my city?"
Is Juro forthcoming with a response, or?
No, he's like nearly wetting himself. He's like, I'm a simple grain merchant. I'm just here to bushels of grain. How much do they cost? And I'm just, like getting really
I'll turn to Leg and just step forward and say, well, you may have guessed that we're not merchants. In fact, well, neither of us are. In fact, and I'm a mercenary of some description, as is my friend here. But I actually hail from Valnreath, and I've been sent here to scout out the, not competition per se, but the opportunities for the Valnreathian Empire. And I was interested in you, so I thought I'd see what all the fuss was about.
So he says, sorry about that. Yeah, he says, if you wanted to know, you could have walked in here and talking to me man to man, but instead you hide behind facades.
Would you really have respected us anymore if we'd tried that approach? Would you have listened to us? I think not. I think you would have been suspicious. Just as you are now.
Honesty very highly. He says, and no one betrays the king of Vanoskaar. No one betrays the Void King. And he like spits into the water. He says, now you will come with me, and we will see what Gomer Creddock will have of you.
Very well, but remember, we are diplomats, so anything that goes awry here will be fed back.
The
will have consequences.
He like walks forward and goes, the Emperor's reach does not reach here, Darthus Balefire. And like laugh, I mean, like just doesn't laugh, but he just smiles like a sickly knowing smile.
And that's when I shoot him.
Okay.
Oh, that's when you shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll shoot him with a mortal scourge shot.
Okay, cool. Go ahead. Yeah.
So, roll to hit.
Sorry.
Oh.
Then roll. Is it 5d100s for?
Yes.
Death, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's dead. So the shot just goes whack straight from. He's still smiling as it comes through the front of his head, and he just stays there lodged, and he just falls face first sideways into the water, like a deafening splash in the silence of the room, and then all hell breaks loose, and everyone just starts coming at you. So Darthus, what are you gonna do?
I'll push Jiro behind me towards one of the walls so that he can make use of cover and draw my shield first to fend off the blows.
Jiro takes out 2 knives from his towel, and his towel falls down. But okay. he's just like just starts going crazy and it's just laying into people left and right, very skillfully. So he's just like lancing veins left and right, and it takes you aback, Darthus, a little bit. You weren't expecting that kind of a thing, but he's like dancing through them, just like slashing left and right. So yeah, and they're coming at you, Darthus. So are you gonna give them the first attack? Or are you gonna?
I'm gonna give them first attack. Yep.
Okay. Yep. So there's 4 of them. So 8d100. Yeah. So just rebuff those.
Okay. Let's do some attacking stuffs. There's 3.
Cool. Yeah, so you turn back 3 of them. You need to take 2 life ward saves and 2 normal saves.
Okay, 2 normal saves, 1 of which is failed, and then roll d6 for my shield save, which is also failed. So I take 1 normal one.
Yeah, that's 20 damage.
That's not how you do that. That's d26, which is not the right thing. I failed both of those. And then I'll roll 1 Aegis save. And I pass, so I'll take 20 damage from that.
Yep. And now you get to attack back.
Awesome. Let me just update that quickly, because I don't have 1 health anymore. Right, yeah, I guess I'll attack back with Hawk Strike. I can't re-roll the 100, can I?
Yes, you can.
Not allowed. Oh, okay, okay. Let's do that then. Sounds great. So 3 hits.
They all go through.
Okay.
And what's the AN of the weapon?
AN4.
Oh, it's life ward save then. Roll 2d6. Whoops. Roll 2d6. One is saved, but the other two are like cleaved and like fall to the ground, dead. But Juro is like cutting a swathe into them at this point, and it's going crazy. Like his naked body is just like running with blood, like it's everywhere. And and so you will now have a path to charge into them if you want to. Hassan, what are you doing up top?
I'll probably just be like trying to pick off like if someone's like trying to come at them from the back or like come at them from an angle. I'll just try and take them out.
Yeah. You can see
as they move forward.
You can see at the bottom there that there are Leng's body is floating face down in the water, which is turning redly crimson. But you can see like his belongings are nearby as well, or what you think might be his belongings are nearby.
So in that case, I'll sort of. If I leave the vents, is it possible to reascend to them, or are they too high?
They're too high. If you leave the vents, you're gonna have to fight your way out.
Oh, but too good an opportunity to pass up. So I'll hop on down and sort of try and use the confusion of the battle to sort of sneak over to his belongings.
Cool. Why don't you roll roll a full ranged attack round, just so you can. Because you said you were doing that. So.
I'll do that first just to make sure that they're...
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, so there's 4 dead, basically, because they don't get to defend, they're already in combat, so 4 guys drop with, bolts in them, and things start to calm down, they start backing off at this point, because Juro's still going fucking crazy and screaming. And Darthus, why don't you roll some more attacks, please? Roll a full attack round for you.
Okay.
Okay.
And there's 3.
And I will roll. So I'll roll 4d100. So rebuff. You need 2 life forward saves and 2 normal saves. No, 2 life forward saves and 1 normal save. Sorry.
2 life wards are passed.
Yeah.
And normal saves failed, and then shield save, and then Aegis save. No, so I take that one.
Okay.
20 again.
That's 20, yeah. So, but you cleave one down as they're running away, and they go. They're shouting things like, "We need more men! Go and get more men! We'll hold them off." He said, another one goes, "Fuck that!" And then you hear like a splash and like fire just like fall over the floor in front of you, like in the opposite room. And like things start to smoke, and Hassan, you dive down into the room, and I guess you're straight over to his possessions.
Yes.
Cool. So you're raiding through it, and you find a satchel with a load of documents in it, and you find a book with a snake on it, and it's a black book with a snake on it.
I will take that.
Okay.
And all the like lodges as well. Does he have any money on him as well?
Yeah, he has a couple of thousand golden alms. Yes, he has about 1,500 golden alms on him.
Are they easily stowable?
Yes.
I will take those as well then.
Cool.
Just quickly shuffle those into my like those bags into my pockets, and then head on.
So you guys are gonna have to either run through the fire or find another way out.
I mean, I would probably run through the fire, but whether either of the other two would try and stop me from doing so is a different thing.
Darthus, do an intelligence check for me.
Okay. I am intelligence 2, so make that what you will.
I was going to give you a -20 to it, so it passes.
Okay.
You realise the walls here are flimsy. They are basically Japanese, flimsy walls.
Okay.
Yes, your body weight could probably smash through these.
Yep, okay. I'm enjoying that kind of idea. I'm just going to turn to Sam and say, pick a direction.
I'll just point left.
Okay, I will charge to Hassan's left and try and go through the nearest wall in that direction.
Why don't you do 10 strength rolls for me? Alright.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. That's good, yeah. No really bad fails. What's your strength?
Yeah. Strength 6.
Yeah, so you go careening through these walls, like one after the other, and then finally you break out into the street, and smoke billows out behind you, and you're followed by a naked man who's like just coughing his lungs up again, and Hassan just like strides out really calmly behind you with like one arm behind his back, and typical like, and he's like just like, like he's attending a ball or something. He's stoic.
This is a normal occurrence for his entry.
yeah.
Standard entry for Hassan. So
yeah.
Makes sense.
So you can see from all three of you that the docks are to the right. If you were to go down that way.
Okay. I mean, what other directions are there from where we are?
There is left, which heads you back down towards the marketplace. There is straight forward, which puts you back down to the miasma of housing. And there is right, which takes you down to the docks. And there's back, which takes you back into the burning bathhouse.
I think that they might try and head us off if we head straight for the docks, Hassan. So perhaps we should try and lose them within the depths of the city first.
I sort of look at Darth and like, you're learning something. Let's go.
I'll try my best.
And sort of pelt off in that direction.
In the straight head direction, do you?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to follow Hassan, trust his instincts.
And Joro's running. So there's a very large man in a tunic with blood all over him running. There is a naked man with 2 daggers in his hands covered in blood running after him. And after him, refusing to run but walking at a rather brisk pace, is a black-daubed shadow, basically, with an arm behind it, basically Dracula, like walking really quickly behind you two. And eventually, you guys you can see behind you. There's black smoke billowing into the air. There's alarm bells ringing everywhere, and there's a lot of guards running through the streets, and yes, 2 of them come from behind you, and they see what is a naked man and a man dowered in black, all covered in blood. And they're like, yes, we know who you are. They're running down there, and they're calling their friends to come and run down after you.
Okay. Can I try and find some kind of, I don't know, not clothing, but something to cover Jura up with? Do I see anything else like past, like a rug or...
Not really, no.
No? Okay.
You do see... why don't you roll perception roll for me with a minus... No, actually, no, just roll perception.
Just even a simple loincloth would be good enough. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So you see there's a strut holding the building next to you up on one side.
Okay. Yeah. I'll careen into it, trying to make use of my momentum as much as possible.
So you're going to hit it with your axe, yeah?
I kind of just... I don't know. I'm considering striking it with the edge of my shield, to be honest.
Okay.
Really.
Roll 5 close combat checks. You're going to have to bloody good if you're hitting it with your shield.
I feel like my shield is heavier, and so it will do more damage than my axe would. So.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you manage to dislodge it, and then you hear like a as the whole thing starts to like bend towards you.
Okay, I'll just shout back to Hassan and say, Hassan, come on! Hurry, my friend.
So I noticed the building collapsing on top of me, and on this very rare occasion, I will run.
Okay.
to clear the falling building.
Juro does that as well. Everyone roll a speed check. Juro will also roll a speed check. Holy shit. Oh! So Juro goes spinning through the air and lands in safety. And you all do. You all get to safety. But the guards, unfortunately, are crushed beneath the weight of all of this stone and timber and things. They're not killed. They're just can't move. So you guys, what are you going to do now? Where are you going to run?
So, are there any back streets?
Yes,
you
are in the back streets.
Okay, so I'll sort of like head into the like even the like really seedy back alleyways and just like try and find some cover for a moment.
That's fine.
And maybe as I'm going, I'm looking for ways to climb up onto the roofs.
Yes, you can find a drain pipe. That's fine.
Yeah, something that's easy that Darthus can like more easily climb up on. So I'll then sort of indicate to him the drain and just sort of start climbing up onto the roof.
Okay, cool.
I'll let Jura go before me.
You really want to have that view?
I'm not going to look up. Trust me.
Okay, so everyone roll speed check to go up there. Oh, Joro is not very quick.
No, he's going to fall on me with his...
Hassan is straight up there. Darthus, you're straight up there. And in the end, like you can just... the strength in Joro's arms are giving out because of all the fighting he's been doing. So the knives just sort of like drop from his grip and fall backwards, into the street. And you can just trying to push him up because you can see the guards like running down the alleyway with like bows readied, and he just can't move. He's like, I'm not strong enough. Darthus, I'm not strong enough.
I'm trying to like shoulder him upwards, but obviously in a not kind of very comfortable position for him, especially I suppose. So yeah, I'm trying my best to lift him up, but I don't know whether I'd be strong enough to do that. Shall I roll?
Yes, it's going to be quite difficult because you're trying to hold on to the thing as well.
Yeah. Okay.
As a pass, I was looking for below 20. So you get him up a little bit, but you realise that to get him up there, you're going to have to basically give him a piggyback and then climb. Like not piggyback, but on sitting on your shoulders and just climb as quickly as you can.
Okay. Juro, I'm loath to say this, but you need to hold on to me, my friend. I can get us where we need to go.
He's like, fine. I'm just out of here. And he just like climbs on your shoulders, so he's like, obviously his nutsack is on the back of your neck, and his dick is like floating on the back of your head.
We must never discuss this, Juro.
Like,
ever.
I won't tell Asher, for fuck's sake, just climb.
Good. Okay.
So
great.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I assume the guards are coming at this point.
Yes,
so I'll probably screen
fine.
them. Yeah,
Okay.
so I'll probably screen them by just taking a couple pot shots at them.
Okay, yeah, fine.
On the top of
full
the building.
round. Yeah. That's 4 deads. So yeah, the shots are screening. They're going to fire back at you. 100. And yes, you will get an armor save against all of those though. So just roll. You have a life ward save too. That's fine, but you will get an armor save against all 5 of them.
Right, well, I have a D6. I have reflex save first.
Oh, hang on.
So how many go through?
4.
They're all passes.
Cool.
Good.
A 2+ reflex save. Fuck.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. Well, to be fair, Dan, I have a 6+ armor save, and no life ward save.
Oh, that's fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, so you're just like whoop, and like dodging these arrows as they're coming in, and finally you yank Darthus over, and they both look like like hell. But as you turn around, you can see the ship, the red ship in the distance with a bunch of other ships. Right, it's just in the the docklands of the river.
I'll sort of like the rooftops, heading for the red sail.
Cool. And as you do that, you guys are being like pelted with arrows, but they're just whacking off of the tiles as you're jumping over the roofs until finally, like you slide onto the last one, and you're all like exhausted, and you clamber down onto the docklands and start running towards the ship. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yep, definitely.
The ship is already casting off because she can see you there, like Asher can see you, but she's turning the ship around so they can actually just go. Once you jump on. I'm going to need you to roll speed checks for me.
Well, she can definitely see Juro, so...
Yeah. So, yes, I passed. Does everyone else pass?
I passed, just.
No, I passed.
Exactly.
So I'm speed 10.
Cool. So you all jump onto the ship and clamber on board, and just lie there panting as the ship just like pushed on into the distance. And Asher just calls back as ships start giving you chase, but the Crimson Wake just like leaves them all for dust. And she turns back to you and goes, "Never a dull moment with you lot, is there?" And that's where we'll finish this session. This time around.
Good. Well, that was successful.
Yeah.
If you count that as a success, sure. I mean, they know exactly who killed them, but yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they know exactly who killed them.
Yeah, because the reason why I didn't shoot immediately was I was kind of waiting for you to give some sort of confirmation that was the person we were supposed to be assassinating, and not just some random asshole you met in a sauna. Waiting for some sort of signal to be like, yeah, this is the guy, shoot him.
Yeah.
Well, I did sort of give you a signal, but then obviously we were stopped and stuff kind of went a bit tits up.
Yeah, so that's when I was like, yeah, so this must be the guy because he's confronting them and being all smug about it. So I assume this must be the head honcho.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
well, it was one less person to deal with now, isn't it? So it was obviously very influential to go more credit.
And I got all their documents, which is also very good.
That's true, and some gold. There's golden arms as well.
Yeah.
So, and Juro got his tackle out, so that's
it was 1,500, wasn't it? The gold.
Yeah. So yeah, good stuff. Good fun.
Yeah.
Nice kind of shorter session. So